dear students, welcome. Okay, and we are going to continue our discussion on the types of sentences. In the last session we have discussed simple sentence. Here we will discuss a further detail of the types of sentences, and now we are going to discuss the second kind of sentence, that is compound sentence. You must remember we are discussing the types of sentence on the basis of structure. So, a compound sentence contains two or more independent clauses. Very importantly, independent clauses means two clauses will give clear meaning, but they are joined by coordinating conjunctions. So, what kind of coordinating conjunctions? Almost we call it as a fanboys conjunctions. Okay, we will see what is fanboys conjunctions in the next slide. So we can use a semicolon sometimes. We have to use conjunctive adverbs. For example, you can see on your screen that I wanted to go for a walk is one independent clause. It started raining, it is also independent clause. Means those two clauses will give you clear meaning, but they are joined by this coordinating conjunction, that is but, right? So this is one compound sentence. So here you must remember that it will be having two independent clause. Two independent clause will you give separate meaning, but that will be joined by one coordinating conjunction, so that it will become compound sentence. So what are those? Fanboys. Here fanboys means F for, A for and, N for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, S for so. So these are fanboys coordinating conjunctions. So you have to observe the example. She enjoys painting. This is one independent clause. He likes singing. This is another independent clause. Those two independent clauses are joined by and. This is one of the fanboys. So this is compound sentence. Another examples here. Okay, we would go to the beach. We could visit the mountains. We could go to the beach is an independent clause. We could visit the mountains is another independent clause. Both are joined by our fanboys or, right? So now he was tired. Nevertheless, he finished the work. He finished the work is independent clause. He was tired is also independent clause. So that both of them are joined by nevertheless, our one of the fanboys, that is coordinating conjunction. Okay, next, she loves reading, he prefers writing. So that here it is, this, okay, semicolon we call it as. We can join two independent clauses by using a semicolon. It is also one of compound sentence. So next type of sentence we are going to discuss is a complex sentence. Complex sentence, let us see definition. What is definition? A complex sentence contains one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. Here you have to observe that dependent clause will not give any clear idea unless it is joined by independent clause. This is why it is called as complex sentence. So dependent clauses cannot stand alone. For example, I stayed home because it was raining. Okay, here it was raining is a independent clause. I stayed home is a dependent one. When you stayed home, when it was raining. So that is how here also we can use some conjunction. We call them as subordinating conjunctions. So you have to use subordinating conjunctions to make the sentence give complete meaning. That is what complex sentence. Yes, we can observe types of dependent clauses. Dependent clauses ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ ನೋಡಿ, adverbial clauses ಇರ್ತದೆ. Adverbial clause means that clause get modified by the verbs, adjectives or adverbs. So these are called adverbial clauses. And now adjective clause. Adjective clause will modify nouns or pronouns, means they describe nouns or pronouns. Next it is noun clause. It will act as a subject. We will see in the next example, or object or complement. That noun clause will also be there. See here, the book. In the example, it is very clear. This is the book that you gave. The book that you gave is called as a noun clause. That is fascinating. Here, what is fascinating? The book that you gave. Okay, what is fascinating is again the dependent on the book that you gave. So these are some examples of our dependent clauses. So now common subordinating conjunctions. In complex sentences, almost we use these subordinating conjunctions. So like after, although, because, before, if, even, okay, and thou, if, since, unless, until, when, whenever, where, wherever, while. Means when we use this, we use to join another kind of dependent clause to the independent clause. So this is why you have to observe a little bit carefully about this one. So let us move, and these are some references, dear friends, I have referred to convey you the kinds of sentences. Until now we have discussed three types of sentences based on the structure, that is simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. So this is a little bit discussion. We can discuss further about this sentences in the next session. So thank you.